Ouch.
Yeah.
So it has to be.
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Frank, and I have the pleasure to be at GuitCon and hang out with David.
Yeah.
And David today is gonna I'm gonna pick his brains on some things that I'm trying to figure out, which is I want to get more fluid and simply better at improvisation.
Yeah.
And let's say I have a couple of chords, and I wanna find out, okay, what kind of like scales or like things can I use over those chords, and how do I find that out, like in a way that I don't have to look into a book, a theory book or something? Is there an easy way to do that?
Yeah, well, an easy way, I don't know, but there's a couple, well, yes, there is, but there's a couple of things that you need to know first.
Right.
And the fundamental, and you know that, but it's a good reminder, there are two types of chord progressions, right? There are the ones that are in one single key, super simple, no problem, and the ones that modulate different keys. But the first thing to remember is that if you have a couple chords, inside of your mind, what you need to do is look at all the chords of all the notes of the first chord, all the notes of the second.
Okay.
And then you can either do this mentally, but if you're kind of new to this or your audience is new to this, take a blank fretboard.
Right.
And then actually write down both of these scale positions. So something simple. Let's say we have a C major open, very basic chord. You would write your dots on your fretboard.
Okay.
To have that shape, and then let's say we have an E minor, super simple, and then of course you can do this with more, richer chords. But if that's the basic thing, what you would do is write down on your fretboard the C shape and the E shape on the same diagram.
Like combined.
Combined, yeah. Because chords are extracted from scales and vice versa, and that'll give you a shape.
Right.
Some notes might be missing, not necessarily.
Okay.
But sometimes. But at least that's kind of your box, your starting point. And the way you do that in real time is go ahead, play a chord, any chord.
Any chord.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with.
Okay. So I'm kind of looking at you, and the more you play, the more you have a feel for things. Okay, A minor, E type of thing. So I'm seeing that shape in my mind, and I know that I could play this note, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that's kind of my box. And within that box, I kind of know, because I did all the position stuff, that within this box, there are only certain scale diagrams that are going to work with that.
Okay.
So that eliminates a bunch of stuff already, which is cool. And then you kind of fill in the blanks. And the more chords you're going to have superimposed with that, the more clues you're going to have as to what I call it the alphabet. The alphabet's going to be to communicate ideas.
Okay.
So that's the first thing to understand. And once you understand that already frees you from starting from scratch, because you're starting from the chord or the chords.
Right, exactly.
And then once you have your box, so if I start playing over, let's do just a simple chord progression in the same key. Like maybe we can do a C major, an A minor, whatever, something in pretty standard. So I'm seeing C major, just keep playing. A minor, yeah. And I'll start modulation there a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the second part. But if I start just playing, let's just do C major, A minor. We can do a G maybe and stay on that G to a couple bars. And just loop that. And I'm just going to start playing a little bit with my C shape.
Okay.
So go ahead. A minor. And that kind of gives me a color.
Yeah.
And now obviously I don't want to do that. It doesn't sound awesome, but that's the basis.
Right.
And then you look at your different shapes. So C major, okay. I'm going to dig into my catalog of chords that I know that are like C major, but different, inversions, and start to play around there. And that's why I like the bar chords, because most of us are pentatonic based.
Exactly.
And so we're thinking minor chord, minor pentatonic, major chord, major pentatonic. And we start with that box. I call it the skeleton. So the first chord is C major. I've got a C on the low E string 8th fret.
Yeah.
I'm going to start thinking, okay, that's my box, that's my skeleton. major pentatonic, right? Or this position that people like.
Yeah, I like it more than the other actually.
Yeah.
It's because it's easier. It doesn't have you don't shift
We're so used to
positions.
it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing with that, if you associate pentatonic scales with simple chord shapes, which is going to work 95% of the time,
right?
Really, in essence, you already have 5 notes out of 7. You'll need to
True.
figure out the 2 others, and then you have your full alphabet. And that's where the trick is to try to figure out which of the notes are missing. And pentatonic is, you've got a root, a minor third, fourth, fifth, minor seventh. So you're missing a second and a sixth.
Right.
And the trick is, if you don't know which ones they are, is to either search for them with chromatic things, like you kind of cheating your way. You do a kind of quickie like that, but you're kind of like focusing. If I slow this down, ma, and you keep that in your mind, ma, over your chord progression for a few chords, and you see if it works. So let's try this.
Oh, okay.
But you've got to wait a little bit for the next chord, and then try the one. Yeah. So you've got your second already. Sorry, major pentatonic. That's why I was messed up. So we're in a major context. In the major context, we are not missing the second. The second's always major.
Okay.
So we're really missing a fourth and a seventh.
A fourth and a
seventh. So those are the notes that I need to find.
Okay.
So I could have a perfect fourth or an augmented fourth. I don't know yet. So let's do the same thing. So far, yeah, but I'm going to wait for the next chords. It works too. Okay, so I've got my fourth. And I need the seventh. No? That's it. But that happens faster. It's like you do a chromatic thing, but you're focusing on every note as they come. And you try to figure out, okay, major seventh.
Okay.
So I've got a perfect fourth and a major seventh. I've got my full scale. That's one way to do it, the chromatic thing, where you isolating a note of the chromatic passage, asking yourself, does it work or not? The other way is to stay in your nice little box, major pentatonic, and when you're trying to figure out the missing notes, you're actually mentally singing the Happy Birthday song, because Happy Birthday is major second. Happy birthday to, and the trick is to be able to sing that from over anything.
Okay.
So if you have your just a major chord, I don't know if it's a perfect fourth or a major or an augmented fourth. So I'm going to sing from this note, Happy Birthday. That'll be major second, 2 frets higher. If it works, that's my target note. If it doesn't, it's the other one. So let's do that again. Just hang out over those 2 chords. From that note, Happy Birthday. Let's see, pa-da-ba, or pa-da-ba, pa-da-ba.
Oh.
The same from the major set. Happy birthday, ba-ba-ba. That tone, yeah, ba-ba, major 7. If it doesn't work, if it clashes, like if you had something like let's see, what would not work over this? Happy birthday. Or you kind of ask yourself the question by singing those target songs in your mind.
Wow.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And the cool thing is, well, with this approach, I don't have to like write down stuff on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
And just go like, and also it's kind of like ear training in the same moment. So it serves like different purposes at the same time.
Exactly.
I like that approach.
I think there's really 2 aspects of playing. There's the mental approach where you're learning your position, your scales and all that, which is good.
Yeah.
But not for the reason most people think. I think the reason it's good to know that is that it strengthens. There's like an invisible thread going on when you're speaking or playing. When you speak, you've got the idea here, and it goes through all those muscles, through your mouth and all that. And when you learn a new language, you've got to train your mouth to do all those like new sounds.
Exactly.
And so it's very kind of robotic. But once you master that, you don't think about it. When I'm speaking
That's
to you,
true,
I'm
yeah.
not spelling everything that I'm saying.
Exactly.
And so the grammar is good. It helps you speak more fluently, but the end result is to speak fluently.
Exactly.
So if you're only thinking in terms of like the theory stuff, then it's probably going to hinder your playing.
Yeah.
But you have to do that first. You don't have to. You can play pentatonic, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you want to enrich your vocabulary, you have to go through those steps of analyzing a little more, studying the rules, and then forget it, basically.
Yeah.
It flows out.
Right.
That's what I would recommend, like bring it back down to simple stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely, well, thanks a lot.
Of
Thanks a lot
course.
for this lesson.
Thanks for inviting me.
And yeah, I'm going to need to check that out, and I'm going to give you guys an update on my progress pretty soon. So yeah. Thank you very
so much. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.